Hey, what's up, everybody? Trying out this oh yeah, it's on the other side. Trying out this headset here. I realize I kind of look like work in a call center, but hopefully the audio is a little better. So I just wanted to start off doing the Q&A here with a few questions, just like always. And if you've got other questions, please do drop them in the comments there, and I'm happy to answer any fitness questions possible, or any that you have, rather. All right, so gonna tackle a couple of questions I've had previously over the past several days to start it off. And if anybody has any other questions, fitness questions, just drop them there, and I will answer. All right, so to begin with, one of the biggest questions I get that I struggle to answer is, like, how can people ask, like, how can I stay motivated, or how can I get motivated to pursue fitness and everything? And I think that, like, up until very recently, that's been a question that has really stumped me. Like, you can ask, about workout programs and nutrition and rest and supplements and just about anything else that you can come up with, and I can give you like a decent answer. But motivation, like, it's one of the things that I cannot externally help with that much. You know what I mean? I can hold you accountable. I can point you in the right direction as to what you should be doing. I can be there to adjust things, help you adjust things when what you're doing stops working. Like, I can help you in a lot of ways, but actually motivating you when you are, like, coming home from work or, like, getting up in the morning or whatever, that's not something that, even if I'm standing beside you, I can't motivate you. You know what I mean? So what I have kind of established and kind of come up with over just the past week, that I'm going to answer that question with from now on, of, like, how do I get motivated or stay motivated, is what I like to call the baseline bonus system. Okay, so this is something I kind of just came up with. It's not very I wish I came up with, like, a more creative name than that, but that's just, like, what I'm calling it. So, like, what this is most people, they have days where they're of high motivation and they have days of low motivation, and those, it could be a week and then a few days of each, you know what I mean? But I think that if what I'd like to suggest is, like, finding a baseline. What's something that you can do every single day, whether you are super motivated or whether you have zero motivation? What is something you can do? Not something you can do, but something you will do, right? So, like, think about yourself kind of at your lowest point. You're exhausted after a hard day of work. You're very, very likely to not do what you've committed to do. What's something that even in that moment you will do? It might be, and nothing's off limits there, right? It could be a 5-minute walk. It could be having a salad for dinner. It could be having another serving of protein that's going to help you be more full and recover better from workouts. It could be any little things. Doesn't have to be something crazy. Make a baseline, something that you can do every single day, and you will be amazed at how quickly you will start to gain some confidence to do other things when you see yourself doing something consistently every day. Even if other people perceive it as a small thing, who cares what they think? It's working for you, so do that. Then the bonus piece is for the days that you have really high motivation. You're waking up and you got a good night's sleep, or, you're feeling good, whatever it is. You watched a show that got you pumped to work out, like, whatever it is. There are these things, have things that are like a bonus for those days. So maybe your baseline is, I'm going to do a short body weight workout at home. Maybe the bonus, though, for a workout thing is, I'm going to hit the gym that day and do some core exercises. You know what I mean? So this baseline bonus system, I think, is the best way to tackle fluctuating motivation, because if you just wait and try to ride the waves of motivation, you're going to get really high and then you're going to crash, often, and that's going to be your whole life. But if you can find a strategy that's like, you can do this baseline thing every day, regardless of how low your motivation is. It's that simple and easy to do, and that'll be different for everybody. And then you've got these bonus things that are selected for you to do, that you've selected for yourself to do, like, on the days where you do have that extra motivation. That's how I'm going to start answering the motivation question, and I think that would be really wise to implement. The second thing I wanted to tackle real quick is rest times. I did a post about this week, and I've had a lot of, like, feedback and thoughts and questions about it. Basically, the premise of the post was, you're probably not, like, if if a goal of yours is strength and or muscle gain, regardless of whether you're trying to lose weight and body fat, or whether you're trying to gain muscle, whatever it is, if strength is a piece of your goal, being stronger and having, like if you're losing weight, when you get down to the body fat percentage you want, like looking how you want, whatever it is, if strength is a piece of your goal, you don't need to rush your rest times. And when I say that, most people will go in, even with big lifts like a deadlift or a squat, they'll go in and they'll do a set and they'll crank through that set and fly through it like it's nothing. And then they'll rest maybe a minute, and then jump right back in and do another set, crank through those like it's nothing. And they'll do that for all their sets across. And what I will tell you right now is that if you're able to do that, you might be working on you're burning some calories, you're getting some cardio in, you might even be building some muscular endurance depending on how many reps you're doing, but you are not getting stronger if you can blaze through it like that. And if you are pushing yourself enough on the sets and that last rep is pretty challenging, you're going to need to extend your rest times a bit. Okay, and so I put something in the post about how sometimes I've rested for 7 minutes between deadlift sets. That's not for everybody. That's what I have found for myself. If I'm going in there and I'm doing heavy sets of 3, and when I say sets of 3, I mean I can only pull that 3 times. I cannot do it a fourth. I cannot do it half of a fourth. I can do it 3 times. If I'm doing 3 sets of that, sometimes for deadlifts, I will rest 7 minutes because I found that that's where I'm going to be able to go in there and get those other 3 reps. And if that means that I can't do my bicep curls at the end, or my ab work at the end, I am willing to either do that at a different time or throw those out altogether in order to keep pushing up on the lifts that I know are going to benefit me the most with overall strength and muscle. So that's what I meant by that. Again, if you can blaze through them, you're not really getting stronger. You're not really going to build a lot of muscle. All right, let's see. Eric, what's up, man? What's the difference between high rep, low weight, and low rep, high weight? Well, I mean, it depends what we're talking about here. So like, typically, like the advice you'll hear most of the time for if you were to ask that question is, the high rep low weight is for like mass hypertrophy is like the term that you'll hear thrown out, is like basically just means gaining muscle. And then the lower rep higher weight is more for strength, right? Not necessarily for muscle. And to a degree, I do agree with that. Once you've gotten past some of those beginner stage of working out. So let's say that you have not been working out and you go in and you're doing, as you and I are doing right now, you're going to do lower reps with higher weight, because that's where you're going to gain an overall foundation of strength, and you're going to get a good bit of muscle coming with that too, because you're untrained technically, or you're lightly trained. You haven't been like lifting heavy for a long time. So basically you go in there, you do that. You're going to start out with those sets of 5, 4 to 6 rep range. That's where you're going to get both muscle and strength gain. Once you get past that, which is different for everybody depending on genetics and especially age and gender. Unfortunately, if you're female or you're older, you don't have as much testosterone, so you're not going to see those gains as quickly as somebody who's younger or male, unfortunately. So I think that when you are doing that, you'll see different people are going to see it quicker, but like generally like a 3 to 6 months is going to be those newbie gains, those beginner gains, where you can kind of do both things. I was swiping spiderweb. Where you can kind of like gain muscle and strength at the same time. And then once you get to a certain point, once you get past those like beginner gains, that's when you get to a place where you're going to have to kind of choose, you know what I mean? So like, am I going to prioritize getting stronger? Am I going to prioritize getting bigger? You know what I mean? And so like for a lot of time, and you'll always be able to do both simultaneously. It's just that the degree to which you can do that lessens significantly, like a lot, from when you first jump into it. So it's almost like that point of diminishing returns, like that first 3 to 6 months, both are going well. And then at some point you're going to have to be like, okay, do I care more about getting stronger? Do I care more about getting bigger? Because if you're going to get bigger, if you want to get stronger, you're always going to have some element of lower rep training, heavy weight training in your program. Otherwise you're going to lose strength. If you are more concerned with getting bigger, I would still suggest that you keep some of the lower rep stuff in there, but then you are going to want to drop the weight so that you can do some higher rep training, so that you can really push to failure and get yourself to a point where you're growing muscle more. So like, for instance, like my training right now, like for the longest time, I've just focused on strength. Right now I'm focusing, trying to maintain and grow my strength slightly while getting a little bit bigger, because I haven't done that in years and I want to do it again. So right now I go in and I have 4 days that I train, and I do like one of those days, each of those days is a major lift. So deadlift, squat, bench, overhead press. And so I do heavy sets. I do kind of like a 5-3-1 split, which I won't get into what all that is, but it's basically heavy. It's low weight, or it's high weight, low rep and then after that, I'm doing some lower weight with higher rep. And what I'll say about that though is, I'm not going to go off on too much of a tangent here, but when you see people go in and do the low rate, high rep, often you'll see them still, again, just like I said with the rest times a minute ago, just be able to breeze through that like it's nothing. If you are able to go in there, let's say you're going for 12 reps for 3 sets on bicep curls. If you're able to go in there and just crank out 3 sets of 12 reps and walk out, you are not really doing much. Like, you should probably be able to get 12 reps on that first set, 11 reps on the next set, maybe 8 reps, 9 reps, 10 reps on the last set, because that's pushing to failure. If you're breezing through it, again, if you're on the beginner stage, anything you do is going to help. But once you're past that, it's not going to help that much. So that's what I would say. There is no point in doing high rep, low weight training until you've have established a solid baseline of strength, and you do that with low rep, high weight training. So hope that answers your question. If not, let me know. Great Jackson, what's up, man? It's been a while. What's your thoughts on the new Star Wars trailer? Besides that, I hope you're doing well, dude. Okay, so it's not a fitness question, but I cannot resist but answer this question. I like the trailer, dude. I like it a lot. I thought that it was very well put together and made me excited for the movie without giving anything really away, which was awesome to me. I hate it when I think some people think that something's been given away, but I don't think it has. You know what I mean? So I think that I like the trailer a lot. I feel like it did a great job of getting me excited and even a little emotional for the movie without spoiling anything, or just feeling like it's just this big, like, you know, all the high spots of the movie. You know what I mean? I feel like it was just cut to the movie. Here's what's going to be in here. Here is who is going to be in here. Your thought, you know, Palpatine is very much part of this. That's, you know, confirmed at this point. But the whole thing with Kylo and with Rey, and I think there's so much that, like, people think they know that they don't know. So I'm excited to see how it pans out, man. That trailer really, The Last Jedi took me down a few notches. I saw it again and was able to like it more. But this trailer has got me pumped, man. Pumped for what's going to happen with Star Wars. All right, let's see. Anybody have any other questions? I am happy to answer. And if you see this later, feel free to comment and shoot me a comment or shoot me a message, and I'm happy to reply there too. So let's see. Yeah, let me know if any of the answers I gave you left anything to be desired, and I'll be happy to try to fill in the gaps. All right, happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're having a great one.